How's it going, guys? It's Jace. I'm still a little sick, so my voice doesn't sound the best, but today we have a very interesting topic. So a couple of high-level Japanese players have gotten together and make this matchup chart featuring the whole cast of the making of this video. So it's only the starting 11, no DLC characters yet. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting chart. I don't remember all the names of who made it, but I believe Kubo Dogura was on there. I think it was 6 players. So we have a lot to talk about. And let me go over how this works. So, the colors, right? Brown means it is unanimous. They all agree that the matchup is currently like this. Red means it was not unanimous. So, out of 4 out of 2 agree that it's this color, or it's this this matchup, stuff like that. 5 out of 1. So for the symbols, right? The symbols, circle means it is advantage for them. X means it is disadvantage for them. Triangle means it is even, and the slash means it is unknown. That means they don't know about the matchup well enough to agree or to make a point. So, also, by the way, it goes from left to right, so it doesn't go top to bottom. You can probably tell why, because if it went top to bottom, Lowain has a lot of... At first, I read it as top to bottom. I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. Lowain has way too many matchups going right for him. So, yeah, so this is how that works. So we can start from the bottom up because Gran's the character I use, so we can talk about him last. We have a lot to go through, so let's get it moving. So first things first, we have Gran. Gran, they say it's going even, not unanimous though. I think Gran has the slight favor in this matchup. Boot being very good, better fireball game. Obviously, neutral-wise from buttons, Baskaraga has more range. But I think you can play at a pretty comfortable spot with Gran, where about plus boot range, where you can kind of disrupt his offense pretty well. And DP helps a lot because he can't do immediate shoulder, he can't do other shoulder tackle stuff if you have good reactions. So I think it's slightly in favor of Gran, but it's not unanimous, so maybe people thought it was, or at least some of the players thought it was advantage for Gran. Same thing for Cat, not unanimous, but it is even. I don't know too much about this matchup for Cat. It's a little bit different. Even though Gran and Cat do play similar, Cat has better buttons in neutral. So I think he stands against Baskaraga, or she stands against Baskaraga a little bit better in the neutral game. But same thing, right? Dwa, you want to be using, or I keep forgetting what the enchanted lands, the spear, the thrust. It helps her a lot in that matchup. Same thing with Gran Boot. Her reward isn't as good mid-screen though, but she gets the same reward damage-wise as Gran, so it definitely helps out. Same thing, she has the DP, so it helps out with shoulder tackle. So I think both these matchups go slightly in the character's favor, but yeah, it's not unanimous. So I'm interested to think if there was like a video to see what they thought about when they were making this chart. Next up, we have Baskaraga winning against Charlotta, not unanimous though. I can see this matchup working out for Baskaraga. Normal differences is pretty big. Charlotta wants to be up close. Baskaraga does well in that scenario as well. Also anti-airs, right? Charlotta has to kind of jump in a decent amount. Baskaraga has a very, very high damage anti-air combo. So yeah, I can see it working out for Baskaraga pretty well in this matchup. Next we have Baskaraga versus Lancelot, and it is not in favor of Baskaraga. Yeah, I can see this going for Lance's favor. I agree. He can kind of freely throw out fireball, which is very, very good for Lance because Baskaraga movement is just not great. And also Lance has a lot of high mobility, so he can get away from a lot of situations where Baskaraga might finally get some offense going, but because of Baskaraga's speed, he might just get away. Or excuse me, from Lancelot's speed, he might get away from Baskaraga. So yeah, I agree with that. I think Baskaraga has trouble in that matchup. Next is Percival. Baskaraga versus Percival is unknown, not unanimous. Yeah, I don't know too much about that matchup either. I think Percival does pretty well, good normal range. He can take some risk with his stance moves, or with his command dash moves, like going low or doing thrust, because Baskaraga has a hard time punishing things from far away to get big rewards. So I don't know. It might go. It might not be great for Baskaraga, or maybe even, but yeah, I'm not sure. Baskaraga versus Fairy. Unanimous that Baskaraga loses that. I agree. You know, Fairy being the zoner, I could see it'd be a nightmare for Vas. It's not that good. Lowain, not unanimous. I could see Lowain giving Voss some issues, but I really wouldn't know how that matchup would go, honestly. You know, Yggdrasil and Pyramid Attack is probably very good against Voss. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much about that matchup. Next we have the Diva. The Diva versus Voss. Even, not unanimous. I think Voss probably does good against La Diva. La Diva's normals aren't that great. And, you know, they both want to be up close. She has slightly faster normals than Baskaraga, if I'm correct in my frame data. But, yeah, I don't know. I could see Voss winning that matchup just solely off of his neutral and his pokes. Next is Metera. Metera going even against Voss. I don't know about this matchup. I think Metera should fuck up Voss. Honestly, it seems like it, but maybe there's something that I don't know about the matchup. I guess when armor goes, but you know, EX arrow just hit 3 times, so yeah, I'm not sure. I think Metera would win that, right? High mobility for Metera as well, so she has some pretty good escapes. And Baskaraga's anti-air is slow, so using Metera is unique, right? The hop, it's probably very good. But yeah, I'm not sure. Next, we have Baskaraga versus Zeta. Zeta unanimously beating Voss. Yeah, I can see that. You know, the laser beam being a huge problem for Baskaraga. Can't even throw fireballs. It doesn't hit 3 times though, so when he's armored up, she doesn't really have a move. I guess she has the spear, right? But like long range, or she has a 5U, right? The Aquaman trident that hits like 5 times. Yeah, I can see it being pretty bad for Voss. Not great. Next is Zeta. So Zeta's matchup chart is pretty crazy here. So we have Gran, Cat, Charlotta, and Lancelot unanimously winning against Zeta. I could see Cat, right? I could see Cat, I could see Charlotta, I could see Lance. Gran, on the other hand, Gran has a hard time dealing with some of her normals. So I don't know if it's unanimously, in my opinion, I don't know if it's unanimously winning for Gran. I think he still wins, but there's some pretty obnoxious normals like 2M, 5L are very, very good against Gran. It's kind of hard to outpoke them at times. And of course she has laser beam, but yeah, I can see the other 3 matches being very easily decided for Zeta losing that. Again, we have a losing matchup, not unanimous though, against Percival. Yeah, I can see Percival beating Zeta. He has the normals to contest Zeta very well. You know, Fireball, you're not going to really be throwing Fireball that much anyway, so only for pressure situations, but... And also Percival can chase down Zeta Spear with his Command-C, so yeah, I can see it being... I'm surprised this is unanimous, honestly. I think Percival beats Zeta pretty heavily. Fairy versus Zeta, yeah, being in favor of Fairy unanimously. I could agree with that. Fairy, you know, Zeta doesn't really have quick ways to get in, so I can see it being an issue for Zeta pretty bad. Zeta versus Lowain, unanimous. Zeta wins this. Yeah, laser beam again, right? Disrupts everything that Lowain's gonna do. You know, better pokes. You know, decent offense, a good enough offense to stop Lowain doing anything. You know. Next we have Zeta versus La Diva. Even, not unanimous. I'm not sure about this matchup, to be honest, at all. I don't know how this will go. I think, you know, Zeta has some slightly good pokes against La Diva. I can see 2M being very good, 5L again. But yeah, I really wouldn't know that much about this matchup either. But you know, no reversal on the side of Zeta, so I can see her getting mauled if the Diva gets in. Next we have Metera. Metera beating Zeta unanimously. Yeah, I can see that. You know, laser beam is gonna be a problem, but Metera got that air shot. Zeta's anti-air is not the best. So Metera's unique hop is gonna be very good against Zeta. So yeah, interesting. We talked about this already. Zeta beating Baskaraga, you know, pretty unanimously. All right, next we have Metera. Metera going even. Not unanimous against Gran. It's a tricky matchup for Gran. It's pretty doable though. You know, I think if you play a little more patient against Metera, it works out for me at least. But it's not the most fun matchup ever, for sure. I can see it going even. Metera versus Cat is not good for Cat. Or not good for Metera, excuse me. Unanimous. Yeah. Cat buttons are ridiculous, and Metera doesn't have too much to deal with it. Same thing with Gran too, right? He has just as good a reward as Cat, so if Metera gets hit, it's a problem. Metera versus Charlotta is even unanimous. This is the first unanimous even. I'm not sure. I guess it goes even, right? Because I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know how Charlotta would win that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's some ways if she gets in, right, she can maul Metera, but I don't know how else she would win that matchup. I'm not sure. Metera versus Lancelot. Not good for Metera. Not unanimous. I think Lance definitely beats up Metera pretty bad. You know, high mobility. I could see Fireball not being very useful because Metera has a lot of ways to negate that. But you know, the high mobility, you know, very godlike supers against Metera. I could see her losing that pretty bad. Metera versus Percival, winning for Metera, thank God, and it was unanimous. I 100% agree. Percival, it's probably Percival's worst matchup in my opinion. You know, no Fireball game. Command dash is pretty bad against Metera. You know, Metera with the high mobility, Percival not having a great anti-air. He has DP though, but yeah. I guess the only thing Percival has is the super, pretty much, his level 1 super, or his SBA. But yeah, Metera destroys Percival. Metera versus Fairy, even, not unanimous. I could see them both going back and forth with those characters. They, you know, two zoners. Their game plan, if they both get started, they both kind of fuck each other up. So yeah, it makes sense. Metera versus Lowain, good for Metera. Not unanimous though, but yeah, I could agree. I think Percival. God, I'm getting there's too many characters on the screen. Metera beating Lowain pretty decisively. Even though Lowain does have a good anti-air against Metera, right? And also counter. But yeah, I can see Metera being very good. The high mobility is probably a problem for Lowain. Metera versus Diva, not good for Metera. I'm surprised on this one. I thought Metera would have advantage on Diva, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know why they think this. I thought maybe go even, but yeah, not going well for Diva. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that matchup. I'm surprised though that it is in Diva's favor apparently. Metera versus Zeta. Metera beating Zeta. Yeah, we mentioned this already, of course. Yeah, not good for Zeta. I can see why. Metera versus Baskaraga. We mentioned this already as well. Not good for Baskaraga. Not unanimous though. I could see it being a problem though, like I mentioned. Okay, next we have. This is gonna be a stupid long video. Jesus Christ. Next we have Diva. So we have a bunch of triangles here, a lot of evens. Diva. Oh, my dog's behind me. I was just curious where my dog was. Diva going even against Gran, Catalina, Charlotta, Lancelot, and Percival. The only one that's unanimous is Lancelot. I could agree with Gran. The only one I don't agree with, I think, is probably Percival and Cat, just because the normals are way better than Diva's. I think she has an issue dealing with like really good normals because her normals are not the best. But characters that that are very high offense that don't have the best normals, I think yeah she does good against all of them, I think, or at least even. The Diva's pretty solid of a character in general. All right, we can skip over that. We have to hurry it up. I don't want this video to be an hour long. La Diva versus Fairy, yeah, very. I don't even have to explain this one. Why La Diva will lose this pretty decisively. La Diva versus Lowain. Yeah, I think this match is pretty bad for La Diva. Just fucking Lowain running around all over the place, calling out the bros, calling out Catbot. I think it's pretty obnoxious for La Diva to deal with. Same thing with Baskaraga, right? The supers, the pyramid attack, and Yggdrasil can definitely be an issue. Except Metera. La Diva going even. I'm surprised. We mentioned this before though, but I am surprised. But if you see here, right, this is a weird thing with this list. So Metera loses against La Diva, but going back over here, it's even. So they must have like rethought some of their decision making. They kind of going back and forth on some of these picks, but I think I have to agree that it is not. It's probably even. I think it's even because Metera having no DP option, right? So I think she can definitely get mauled if La Diva gets close. Or La Diva gets the offense started, so I think it's not bad. And Metera's normals are not, they're good, but they're not amazing, right? Up close at least. She doesn't have like really Golic mid-range normals. So, La Diva struggles in that range, and Metera doesn't really have that. We have Zeta, right? Zeta versus La Diva. Going bad for La Diva. Is this the same here though? Zeta versus La Diva. I'm trying to find it. Right? Yeah, they agreed on the same thing. Oh wait, no. It's just even. They switched. The problem is there's no video, right? So like I don't know like what order they went in. They probably went from top to bottom, I'm gonna imagine. But I have to say it's probably not good for La Diva. Probably slightly in Zeta's favor. Next we have Baskaraga. They went back, so La Diva beats Baskaraga here, but they have it even on Basaraga's corner. I think it's good for Vas. I think it's good for Vas, in my opinion. Okay, oof. Lowain. Lowain's losing unanimously against Gran, Cat, Charlotta, Lancelot, Percival, Fairy, and Zeta over here. Yeah, all these matchups are not good. Lowain's not great as a character, of course. So we can kind of skip over these. The one matchup he does win against that is unanimous is none of them. But I do think he beats La Diva. I think he does good against La Diva. They do have an unknown here. They have unknown versus Baskaraga. Lowain versus Baskaraga is unknown here. But they have it here as, they put it as even down here. Right? Am I correct in that assumption? Yeah. They put it even, but they said unknown here. I don't know. This list is kind of confusing sometimes that they switch around, but we make it work. Yeah, Lowain's not great. he doesn't have very winning matchups, but I do think he does beat La Diva. At least that's your consolation prize for playing him. Fairy loses against Gran unanimously. I'm surprised. I think it's even. I think it's about 5-5, honestly. There might be some stuff that they're doing that I'm not too sure about versus Fairy, but as a Gran player, I think it goes pretty back and forth, honestly. But maybe they have some matchup ideas that I'm not sure about. All right, Cat. Fairy beating Cat. I think Fairy does beat Cat, honestly. Just the lesser movement that Cat has compared to Gran definitely is troublesome. And Cat having the mid-range monster game doesn't really matter against Fairy because Fairy's a zoner, so you kind of want the mobility over anything else. But she does have 5U, which is the shield, the focus attack, so it's not bad. All right, Charlotta beating Fairy, not unanimous, or not good for Fairy, right? Not unanimous though, but yeah, I think Charlotta beats Fairy. you know, she's gonna get in, right? It's Charlotta. She will get in eventually. And the Fairy having, you know, long recovery, long startup. Charlotta takes a good guess on jump in or roll. She's basically in there in one fell swoop. Also block ball being very good as well. Lancelot versus Fairy. Not good for Fairy. I agree. Again, same thing with Charlotta, right? One good jump in. He's in the mix. He's in there pretty easily. Even for Percival versus Fairy. I don't know about this matchup. I think Percival kind of loses this matchup. Again, right? Slow movement. Fireball. Fireball kind of being an issue for Percival. He can't really throw it out that well. Fairy having 2M to deal with pretty much all of the command dash follow-ups. Or 5L. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Percival does well against this matchup. Alright, now we go into all of the advantages for Fairy. So Fairy unanimously beats Lowain. We talked about this, yeah, pretty easily beats Lowain here. Same thing here for the Diva. Metera, it's not unanimous, but it is apparently in Fairy's favor. Zeta and Baskaraga. Yeah, I agree with all of those pretty much. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, next we have Percival. Percival versus Gran. Percival versus Gran is even. I don't know, I think Gran beats Percival slightly. It's not huge in either of them favor, but I could see it going even, maybe. I haven't fought that many good Percivals, so maybe it does go even. Cat versus Percival going even. It's not unanimous though, but I don't know. I think Percival loses slightly to Cat. You know, the normals are pretty much the same, but you know, Cat has a way better fireball, focus attack. 2M is just so good against Percival's command dash normals for Cat. So I don't know. I think Percival loses this matchup even more than I think Gran beats Percival. Percival versus Charlotta. In favor of Percival. I can see this being in favor of Percival. It's not hard for Percival to out-footsie Charlotta, right? And also not be able to roll through his fireball is very good for him to deal with Charlotta. Next we have Percival versus Lancelot. Even. I think this is pretty even. I think they both have tools to deal with each other very well. I think the anti-airs are probably an issue, which is why Lancelot has, you know, some slight advantages in the matchup. Both having very slow fireballs, they have to set up. I think Lance pretty much just wants to be in there all the time. Just try not to let Percival stack up. But I'm probably gonna skip over these. This video is gonna be stupid long. I don't like having the videos too long. So, you know, we've mentioned all these before already. So we can just kind of go along the grain. We'll talk about the Gran matchup in more detail though. So Lancelot versus Gran. Bad for Lance. I'm surprised. I think this goes pretty even, honestly. I think Gran does good against Lance in some scenarios, but I think Lance also is quite solid versus Gran as well. Lancelot versus Catalina. Lance winning against Cat. Unanimous too. I'm not sure. I think Lance does good against Cat. I haven't seen that much of that matchup, so I'm not too sure, honestly. But I can see it going in favor of Lance, just because of the speed, right? Speed difference is pretty big. Lance versus Charlotta. Bad for Lance. I think this is a case of gorilla versus gorilla, and Charlotta is the more sturdy gorilla. You know, more damage output, right? They both want to be up close, so I could see Charlotta having some slight advantage over Lance. Or Charlotta versus Gran, losing in both these matchups. Charlotta versus Gran, Charlotta versus Cat. Not unanimous for Gran though. I think she loses pretty bad. I think she loses definitely a lot worse versus Catalina. So I agree 100% on these two. All right, Cat versus Gran. Even slightly. I don't know. I think Cat wins slightly, in my opinion. But let's go to Gran, right? So on the top they have Gran winning this. I think I don't know. I think Cat just the normal difference, right? And them both having a very similar reward, I think favors Cat in this matchup slightly. But it's not in total favor of her. Maybe like 5.5, I think. think Cat has slight advantage. All right, so Gran versus Charlotta. They put it here as Gran losing to Charlotta in Charlotta's stack, but up here in Gran, it's the opposite. So I think Gran beats Charlotta. Honestly, it seems very good for Gran, right? You know, Charlotta jumping in is not good because Gran has very, very high damage anti-air combos. You know, good offense. He has a lot of ways to beat out DP. Just as 2U, right? 2U in general just goes under her flash kick, which is very strong. Yeah, I think it's in favor of Gran, at least a little bit. So Gran versus Lance. Gran versus Lance, yeah, I think it's even, honestly. We mentioned that already. They both go back and forth. Percival versus Gran is even. We talked about this, of course, already. Gran, I guess, like I mentioned, right? I don't know. I haven't fought that many good Percivals, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't know. Maybe it isn't. It's an even matchup, but I feel like Gran wins it slightly, at least from the times I have fought Percival. And also, I played Percival a little bit too, so I don't know. I think Gran wins slightly. Gran versus Fairy, unanimous in Gran's favor. I don't agree fully, but there might be some things that they're doing versus Fairy that I'm not sure about, but I think it's 5-5. At least in my opinion right now, I think it's 5-5. But yeah, they might have different ideas that they found versus Fairy to be very effective. Gran versus Lowain, yeah, it's in Gran's favor, pretty good. Gran versus La Diva, I think it's even, honestly, or maybe slightly in Gran's favor. But yeah, what did they put for her? They put it even down here when they did La Divas, but yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I haven't fought that many La Divas, so I'm not entirely sure. Metera versus Gran, in Gran's favor slightly. Yeah, I think it is slightly in his favor. It is annoying, but you know, Gran, if you play patient enough, you know, take your time and like wait for your get in, I think Gran capitalizes very well. Especially Metera having no DP, it's very good for Gran to just constantly be in plus frames. All right, last two, Gran versus Zeta. Gran beating Zeta, I don't agree. I think Zeta having 2M and 5L makes a big difference. I think it's slightly even, or maybe slightly in Gran's favor, but in my opinion, I think it's even right now. But same thing with Fairy, right? They might have some ideas. Since it's unanimous, they might have some ideas with Gran that Zeta can't deal with. And then Gran versus Baskaraga, unknown, but they put Baskaraga versus Gran as even down here. I think it's slightly in Gran's favor. You know, I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, you know, DP being very good. You know, Gran staying in that max boot distance is very good to fight off Baskaraga. And Baskaraga having very slow normals, no wake up, is, you know, it's plus time for Gran, right? It's just how it is. But that's all though. That's all the matchups. You know, we didn't go for every single one, but I mean, we technically did because we followed the line at the end there. But yeah, this is a long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is pretty interesting to see what high-level Japan thinks of the game right now. But yeah, there's some things I want to take note of Gran, right? I definitely gonna see what Gran versus Fairy is like in Japan, what Gran versus Metera is like, what Gran versus Cat is like, because there's some things I don't agree with, but I'm curious to see what they're doing differently that they think this way. But yeah, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.